your Storm Tracker 13 forecast first. Sponsored by George Sink Injury Lawyers.
Well, good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm Jevin McCoskey.
And I'm Adriana Cotero. Happy Wednesday, everyone. It is July 8th. We have meteorologist Hannah Ronner here, of course. And Hannah, are we expecting to see some more of those pop-up storms?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to say showers. They're kind of storms at this point.
They are definitely very intense. We had some damage reported, power outages. You guys are going to talk about that, but just keep in mind that the widespread concern is still heat. Some of us did not get rain still yesterday. That was more in the PD. We got some nice rain though.
We did in Conway and can I say it?
Yeah,
can I say it? Carolina Fort.
We definitely got some nice showers for across Horry County, but Marlborough County was very quiet and still relatively dry. But we have to keep in mind everyone still feels the heat. Not everyone necessarily gets the showers, but we will still get the rain. The heat is actually going to be even more intense compared to yesterday. Temperatures are 2 to 4 degrees warmer, ranging from 75 to 79 degrees. And the winds, not necessarily breezy. They're out of the southwest, less than 10 miles per hour. So as we go through the hour by hour, you don't really see those rain chances pop up. However, usually between 12:30 and 1, that's when the initial rain starts to fire up. A lot of the rain is going to come out of the south and west for today. And then for Florence, again, mostly staying dry for the first part, but do anticipate at least a few storms, but a hot day. Temperatures 94 to 98 degrees.
All right, Hannah, thank you so much. First for you this morning, 4 people are hospitalized after a car caught fire in a crash overnight in Loris. Horry County Fire Rescue were called to the area of Green Sea Road and Highway 67 at 9:30 last night. They say it was a 2-car crash and one of the vehicles was on fire. They were able to put that fire out and 4 people were taken to the hospital, but no word right now on the extent of their injuries. Highway Patrol is investigating.
Now let's go back and talk about some of those severe storms from yesterday afternoon. They happened in Horry County and they were wreaking havoc up and down the Grand Strand. Several families were forced out of their homes after an apparent lightning strike caused a fire along 37th Avenue North. News 13 spoke with a couple with a young girl who waited for hours for the Red Cross to find them emergency shelter. Investigators are looking into the cause of that fire, but neighbors say they saw the lightning, then heard a loud boom and clouds of smoke.
I was outside and I noticed a whole bunch of smoke coming from the building over across the way, and I called 911. The smoke was really bad and it was going to the other neighbors on the other side. That's where it was blowing.
News 13 Chief Meteorologist Frank Johnson says lightning was detected near 37th Avenue around 3:20 Tuesday afternoon, which is about the same time fire officials say that fire broke out. Elsewhere in Horry County, fire rescue crews were called to save someone who was trapped in their vehicle after a tree fell on it. The incident happened along North Kings Highway outside of Chestnut Hill. Horry County fire rescue crews managed to free the driver, who was taken to the hospital with injuries. No word yet on the extent of those injuries.
News 13 on-time traffic, sponsored by Joy Law Firm. Just call Joy.
The time now is 6:04 and traffic flows remain quiet with no reported accidents in Horry County. As we zoom in for a live look at 17, we do have a decent amount of clouds, especially on the left side of the camera. It is looking, actually, this is from yesterday. It says timestamp is 1:18 p.m. So that is not accurate right now. Drive time is 8 minutes from Mr. Joe White to 82nd Parkway. Interstate travel does not have any crashes from Florence to Lumberton. We're going to go all the way up to the Bourdabout on I-95 and State Line Road. Skies are looking relatively clear. Just a couple of clouds will be hanging around for today. It's already very mild and sticky though as you're heading out to start your morning. The drive time for downtown Florence is 9 minutes from TV Road to 76.
Hannah, thank you. On your morning crime tracker, a 9-year-old and 2 11-year-olds are accused of setting fire to playground equipment at a park in Florence. Now the mayor is calling on the community to help stop vandalism and destruction at the park. The fire happened at Dr. Iola Jones Park, and authorities say someone passing by stopped an officer to let them know the playground was on fire. When the officer arrived, 3 children were running from the area. Mayor Lithonia Barnes says this is not the first time incidents have happened at the park. From vandalization to destruction of the garden, she says those responsible were not held accountable, but this time will be different.
We did not really use it as a teaching moment. That's why now I come and say, this time we're not going to just say, oh, it's just kids being kids. Kids need to understand that there's a price. There's a price. And these juveniles are now in trouble for damaging property.
The fire caused an estimated $1,500 in damages, and Mayor Barnes says the children's parents or guardians should be held responsible for the cost. The 3 juveniles will have to appear in family court. Meanwhile, a Florence woman is accused of setting fire to her own home. Kimberly Townsend is charged with second-degree arson. According to police documents, Townsend used gasoline to set fire to the kitchen of her home on Rutledge Manor Drive this past Sunday. Police say she was seen leaving the home before neighbors saw smoke and called 911. Townsend is out of jail on a $50,000 bond.
In South Carolina, Attorney General Alan Wilson is working to unseal documents from the first Alec Murdaugh double murder trial. Now, Wilson filed a motion to unseal transcripts and other materials that led to a juror being dismissed during the 2023 trial. The motion also requests information from later hearings into allegations of jury tampering against former Colleton County Clerk of Court Becky Hill. Now, Murdaugh was convicted of the murders of his wife and son in Colleton County, but the state Supreme Court reversed those verdicts back in May, saying Hill may have influenced the jury. A new judge set in April 2027 start date for a new trial. And another meeting and still no decision made on a controversial plan to limit capacity for new bars along Ocean Boulevard. That proposal would limit occupancy for any new bar or nightclub on Ocean Boulevard to 150 people. Now, bars and restaurants licensed as of May 12th would not be impacted. City leaders say the goal is to make Myrtle Beach more family friendly and help police more easily manage nightlife in the area.
If we have a nightclub on the boulevard that holds 500 people and come 2 a.m. whenever that nightclub closes, that's 500 people not being dumped into a parking lot, but being dumped onto Ocean Boulevard. Now let's say that we had 10 nightclubs on Ocean Boulevard that had a capacity of 500. At 2 a.m., that's 5,000 people being dumped not into a parking lot, but onto Ocean Boulevard.
Critics say it would create disadvantages for any new business coming to the area and discourage new development. No action was taken at Tuesday's meeting, so count on News 13 for updates as this discussion continues on.
New life is emerging from the sandy shores of South Carolina. The first sea turtle eggs are hatching, and we'll tell you where and have an update on nesting season coming up next.